Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryan, your host, and I'm welcoming you to my review of Last Christmas from 2020. No, wait, 2029. So, Last Christmas is a movie that stars Amelia Clark. Amelia Clark. I'm getting tongue tied right now. Harry Golding. This movie also in addition to them two, we also have Michelle Yeoh and Emma Thompson, who Emma Thompson also wrote and produced this movie, and directed none other by Paul Feig, the man who directed Female Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters 2016, which I stand by as a very good movie. But anyways, Last Christmas, for those who don't know the story of Last Christmas, I'll give you the rundown. In 1987, George Michael made a song called Last Christmas, and it went something like this. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, I gave it away. So that's the lyric, and that's the rundown of what Last Christmas is. What I sang that lyric is the plot. So Paul Feig and Emma Thompson decided to come up with a movie to keep the spirit of George Michael alive. And the whole movie is filled with the music by George Michael. In fact, the back of the Blu-ray says, inspired by the song Last Christmas, written and composed by George Michael. So let's actually talk about the actual plot to Last Christmas instead of just reading the lyric. So did I like Last Christmas? Let's find out. I'm going to read the plot right here. I'm trying to read how I can start this out. I'll just start from the beginning. For director Paul Feig, Bridesmaids, and Academy Award-winning screenwriter Emma Thompson, Bridget Jones's Baby, comes a heartful romantic comedy inspired by the unforgettable music of George Michael. So here's the actual plot. Kate, who works as an elf at a year-round holiday shop. Kate faces an endless streak of bad luck and poor decision making until she meets Tom, a kind-hearted man with a mysterious past who challenge her cynical world views. I hope I pronounced that right. It seems like nothing can keep this mismatched couple together, but sometimes you gotta listen to your heart and you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. That's a George Michael song. Wham! No, that was a George Michael song called Faith. Yeah, the whole movie is filled with George Michael's music. But yeah, right at the beginning, we're introduced, like I said, to Kate and her mom, played by Emma Thompson. So she's, like I said, a store elf, and she eventually meets a man named Tom. Her boss is played by Michelle Yeoh, which is also interesting because Harry Golding was in, was it Kate? Crazy Rich Asians, and he starred in that movie. And you know who else appeared in Crazy Rich Asians? Michelle Yeoh. So yeah. And the thing about it is, and that's really the plot of this. This movie, to me, has a feel of a 1940s Christmas movie mixed with a little bit of a screwball comedy. Well, not really screwball comedy, but it has a rom-com feel of a Howard Hawks movie. So it kind of reminds me of that. There's also another movie similar to this, called Christmas in Connecticut, which had Barbara Stanwyck. I don't want to compare it to that movie, but I feel that same way too with this movie. I really like these two. I think Emilia Clarke, a lot of people know her in the show Game of Thrones, and I think she has a very, very good charisma. Very good charisma in this movie. And Harry Golding, I feel like he's like a younger Cary Grant. He's just so likable and just fun on screen. And it's really heartbreaking how it comes down to the end. I'm not going to tell you the ending, but literally the idea of that last Christmas, and it goes into, so sometimes she'll be homeless and she gets a job at the shelter shop. So she'll get a job there, and then she looks and she tells Tom that I have a bad heart. The doctor threw my heart away. She has a cut in her chest right here, and she literally, her heart was thrown in the garbage basically. She had a bad heart and they had to remove it and they tossed it in the garbage. And she says, I may not live forever. Well, I'm not going to tell you anything, but all I'm going to say is the pendulum does swing. And yeah, it's very heartbreaking. I'm like, oh man, don't tell me. But it comes to that happy ending of what really the true meaning of Christmas is. And also, I just love how this movie is set in London and is so beautiful at nighttime. Especially Christmas in London just looks extremely beautiful. I think it is. I give, again, guys, Paul Feig, you got to at least give him a little bit of credit. Paul Feig knows how to direct. I don't understand why Paul Feig gets so much hate. I've covered a movie called Bridesmaids on the channel, which also is directed by Paul Feig, and he is a very talented director. I don't understand why he gets the hate all because of one movie. If you can ignore that, guys. Oh, an interesting and fun fact. And here's the fun fact. One of the extras, when Emilia Clarke sings Last Christmas near the end of the movie, that's not the ending, guys, but near the end of it, you can actually see Wham's original songwriter, Wham's producer and the songwriter for most of George Michael's songs. He's in as an extra in the background as one of the people singing Last Christmas. I really want to talk about how good Emilia Clarke's singing is. She sings Last Christmas and it is just incredible. Man, Emilia Clarke, talk about an actress. I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones, and already I think she's really good. The scene where she's ice skating, even Harry Golding. Harry Golding is good. It's interesting, though, that a woman who is from London acting with a guy who is from Malaysia. For those who don't know, Harry Golding was actually born in Malaysia. So I like how it's not just Americans and just Americans going to another country. Kind of similar to how, I'll use another example, Diane Ladd in Under the Tuscan Sun. How she goes from America into another country. But I think it works well with this. Not comparing to that movie. Back to Last Christmas. Like I said, guys, it's really good. Oh, I want to talk about the one scene that I think Michelle Yeoh is so powerful. There's a scene in the movie where Emilia Clarke, she walks out, but one problem. She forgets to lock up at the end of the night. So as soon as she thought she closed the door, and it just a smidge opened like that. So she forgot to do that. Then she gets cops or boppies, as they're called in England. Where they're not called cops, they're called boppies in England. So the cops confront her, and yeah, they confront her, and again, she scolds her on what she did. So the cops are like, Merry Christmas, and then she's like, Merry Christmas. So she scolds her, and then she says to her, this line I love the most, she says, clean up the place. Stupid, stupid little girl. And then she starts crying. And I said this again, guys. Whew. Yeah, that was a lot to talk about. I'm going to end it right there, guys. I don't think there's anything else in this. I will say this. Some weird reason, the Universal logo, Yeah, the Universal logo. Sorry for doing that, guys. For some reason, the Universal logo is like pitch black. I don't know. It never happened in any other movie. So I kind of wanted to bring that up, guys. Like I said, it's late right now that I'm recording this, so I'm not gonna stay on too long. So yeah, that's my only complaint. But that's a logo. But yeah, let's go ahead and end it right now. Yeah, let's go. I'm just gonna wrap it up right now. At the end of the day, I am gonna recommend Last Christmas. This is a really good Christmas movie. I'm even going to compare it to another Christmas movie I covered on the channel, Love Actually. Another Christmas movie that's set in London. So if you want a more happier way, yeah, check this movie out. But also check out Love Actually. That still holds up. I haven't seen that in a while though, but I will tell you this. I didn't watch the Blu-ray. I watched the DVD. My PS3 will not play Blu-rays past, I believe, 2016. So, unfortunately, I was left with just watching the DVD. But that's okay. It's a matter of watching the movie, guys. So, yes, these two, Emilia Clarke and Harry Golding, are fantastic. The whole cast is really good. I gotta give Paul Feig credit on doing a Christmas movie, and you know what? The man hit a home run with this. I don't care what people say about Paul Feig. I like this guy as a director. I even like Bridesmaids, and I even covered that on the channel. Kind of need to do a re-review of Bridesmaids. It's been forever since I've seen it. But yeah, if you haven't seen Last Christmas, check this movie out. Really, really, really solid movie. So let's go ahead and rate this right now. I'm going to give Last Christmas a 4 out of 5. Though it's not a perfect Christmas movie, it's still a well-made Christmas movie. But I believe time and time as this movie comes out, I think if we go forward in like we'll use 2030 example. If we get to the year 2030, this movie will qualify as a future Christmas classic, in the vein of like It's a Wonderful Life or Love Actually, or even like A Christmas Story. This will go down as a future Christmas classic, and I am going to definitely watch this. I'm definitely going to watch this next year. Plus, it also gets me excited because with Vlogmas coming up this year, it kind of gets me in that mood to watch these movies. And I got 2 more Christmas movies lined up for the near the end of the year. So yeah, so before I go ahead and sign off, Vacation Week Reviews has officially come to a close. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on this long journey. A long journey on my reviewing these movies on my vacation. And I had a ton of fun doing these, and I hope to do it next time I get another vacation. Next week we'll go back to the usual 2 reviews. Hit UV isn't over, guys, so I'm just going to let you know right now. Hit UV isn't going to be over for another couple months. So I got 2 months away from almost finishing up. But I'm going to say this, we are finally going to get to the spooky season next month. And that I'm really excited for. So, like I said again, guys, check out Last Christmas. If you haven't seen this, definitely give this a watch. Now, I want to let you know, this was a Listia pickup. If you watched my Vlogmas video last year, this was the movie I got an I did a mini unboxing, and I got off of Listia, and now I covered on the channel, and I'm very happy I covered it because this movie is going to be a future Christmas classic, in my opinion. So check out Last Christmas. Definitely a almost future Christmas classic. We'll just say that. So yeah, that's it, guys. And as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.